To boost up sex desire, he invented a breakfast you've eaten it your whole life. Cereal for breakfast. It feels ancient, obvious, inevitable, like of course you eat cereal in the morning. What else would you eat? But breakfast cereal is not ancient. It is not a tradition. It was invented by one man, in one place, for one very specific reason. That reason was not nutrition. It was not convenience. It was not taste. It was to stop people masturbating. This is the true origin story of the Kellogg's company. And it is one of the strangest, most uncomfortable, and most consequential stories in the history of American capitalism. Battle Creek, Michigan, 1876. John Harvey Kellogg is 24 years old. He has just been appointed chief physician of the Western Health Reform Institute, a Seventh-day Adventist health facility that will become known as the Battle Creek Sanitarium, or simply the San. Kellogg is a remarkable man, a brilliant surgeon, a prolific author, a passionate health reformer. He performs over 22,000 operations in his career, most of them without a single death from post-operative infection, at a time when antiseptic surgery was new. He is a genuine medical pioneer. He is also, by modern standards, spectacularly wrong about almost everything involving human sexuality and diet. Kellogg believed, following the Victorian medical consensus of his era, that masturbation caused blindness, acne, epilepsy, heart disease, mental illness, and death. He believed that meat and spicy food stimulated animal passions. He believed that a bland, plant-based, grain-heavy diet would dampen sexual desire and make patients more spiritually pure. The Battle Creek Sanitarium became one of the most famous health resorts in America. Presidents, industrialists, and celebrities checked in, including Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller, and Amelia Earhart. They came for hydrotherapy, electrotherapy, vigorous exercise, and Kellogg's grain-based diet, which he was constantly inventing and refining. In 1894, John Harvey Kellogg and his brother Will Keith Kellogg were experimenting with wheat. They were trying to create a light, digestible bread substitute for their patients. They boiled wheat, ran it through rollers, and accidentally left the dough out overnight. The next morning, it had gone stale. Instead of throwing it away, they put the stale dough through the rollers anyway. What came out were thin, crispy flakes. Patients loved them. They were bland enough to satisfy John Harvey's medical philosophy and tasty enough that people actually ate them voluntarily, which was not a given for many of his other dietary experiments. They patented the process. Then, John Harvey adapted it to corn. Corn Flakes were born. John Harvey wanted to keep the product medicinal. It was a sanitarium food. It was prescribed, not sold. He was a doctor, not a businessman, and he had contempt for commercial exploitation of medical discoveries. His brother Will Keith had different ideas. Will Keith Kellogg spent 25 years working for his more famous brother, managing operations, answering correspondence, doing the unglamorous work that kept the sanitarium running, while John Harvey took all the credit and all the glory. Will Keith was described by those who knew him as brilliant, driven, and quietly resentful. When he finally founded his own company in 1906, he did everything John Harvey considered a moral outrage. He added sugar to the Corn Flakes. He ran advertisements. He hired salespeople. He aimed for grocery stores, not sanitariums. His most famous early campaign, he ran newspaper ads in New York City telling housewives that if they winked at their grocer on a specific Tuesday, they would receive a free sample of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Thousands of women winked. Grocers, bewildered, handed out samples. The stunt generated more press coverage than most national advertising campaigns. John Harvey was furious. He tried to block his brother legally, arguing the Kellogg name belonged to him. The legal battle was messy and long. Will Keith eventually won the right to the name and added his initials to the packaging to distinguish his product from his brother's sanitarium food. Kellogg's was not alone for long. A former Battle Creek Sanitarium patient, C.W. Post, had already copied the concept and founded Postum cereal. By 1900, there were over 100 cereal companies operating out of Battle Creek. The city became the cereal capital of the world, pumping out brands with names like Granola, Grape Nuts, Force, Vigor, and Maltavita. Most of them failed. Kellogg survived by doing two things consistently: innovating within the format and advertising relentlessly. By the 1920s, Kellogg's was one of the biggest advertisers in America. They put free toys in cereal boxes in the 1940s. They invented Tony the Tiger in 1952. They spent more on children's television advertising than almost any other company in America throughout the 1960s and 70s. John Harvey Kellogg, who had watched his invention become a sugar-selling commercial empire, spent his later years increasingly isolated, discredited, and ignored. His racial theories had attracted Nazi admiration. His medical ideas had been overtaken by science. He died in 1943, aged 91, still running his sanitarium, still prescribing grain diets, still certain he was right. Kellogg's is today worth approximately $35 billion. It sells cereal in 180 countries. In America alone, the average person eats around 160 bowls of cereal a year. The breakfast cereal industry generates $10 billion annually in the United States. All of it, the entire concept of a bowl of grain-based food as the default morning meal, traces back to a Victorian doctor who wanted to cure America of its sexual impulses with bland food. The product failed at its original purpose. Corn Flakes do not suppress desire. John Harvey Kellogg was wrong about almost everything he believed about human physiology, but he accidentally built the scaffold on which his brother built a breakfast empire. And his brother added sugar, the one ingredient John Harvey would have considered the ultimate betrayal. Your morning bowl of cereal is a monument to a failed medical experiment. You can decide if that makes it taste better or worse.